I will jack him all the way up here just to mess with this thing. Let's hope I can fix this quickly. Hey, is the multi-dimensional door portal thing up here? Yep, it's right behind me. You need access to it? Yeah, I do. Alright then, better hurry, still open. I just gotta climb it. Ah! Okay, come on. One button here, one button there. I just gotta move that around. And, yeah, it should be fixed. Hello? Didn't you hear? We already closed on it. Who are you? My name's, Bulkhead. One day, I saw this weird portal thing, and I walked through it, and I ended up here. So I decided I need to look for the Autobots, right? You look like an Autobot, Ratchet. How do you know my name, and why did you think it was a good idea to walk through a portal? Why not? It was really shiny looking. I was just like, wow, looks pretty cool. I wonder if there's anything inside of it. You okay? Oh my God, Wheeljack, I'm gonna kill you. So before this review even starts, we're gonna have to go a little bit back in time for this to explain as to why he's in my hands now. But let me get into that. So if you don't follow my Twitter, which you should, I basically post every day, I did talk about the Legacy reveals that had came out around October, September-ish, whenever they were revealed. And I said at the time that Bulkhead was interesting, but I didn't think I'd be picking him up. Flash forward to about last week, Wednesday, which should be literally 1 week from this review, and I just walk into a Target out of nowhere, and Bulkhead and Blaster are just sitting there. And I felt compelled to just grab them. This is a great thing for me. I'm trying to come back as a YouTuber, and that was just a perfect opportunity to come back, right? Right. So that's why he's in my hands. I would not have reviewed it unless, I don't know. He probably wouldn't have gotten a review, but this is the main reason why. But yeah, my name is Omega the Real, as you may know me about, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Legacy Voyager class Bulkhead. Now, Bulkhead is actually not from one distinct universe. He's mainly in two different toys, or two different shows. The first one being Transformers Animated, which released in 2007, and Transformers Prime, which released around 2011, 2012. I couldn't be dared to check. But he's basically the same in both shows. But if you want to count Energon Bulkhead, then we're going even further back to the late 2000s. No, I'd say about middle, early, whatever. But he's been basically the same since the last two appearances. Big green guy with about the same looking face. What can you say about him? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this review. Bulkhead here is definitely different from what we've seen before. He's a version of a character that never had a G1 appearance. Doesn't have an evergreen appearance as far as I know. But Hasbro decided to make a Bulkhead to appeal to fans of Transformers Prime and Animated. Mainly Prime because I think Animated's left in the water. No one wants to talk about it anymore. But I'd say this is a great exception. He's pretty cool. It's interesting to see a G1 design for characters that actually never had those kind of designs. And it's a good reimagining, I'd say. Now, we're moving on to real topics, painting and sculpting. Painting and sculpting on Bulkhead is exceptional. It's really good, just about what you expect from the new Legacy line, which is weird. It kind of just happened. Like, we had War for Cybertron stuff, it was still there, and then it just, Legacy's here already. I'll take it. But yes, the sculpting for this line is as average as for, the War for Cybertron line. Saying it's good, it's great. But saying it's bad? No, I wouldn't say it's bad. He's definitely got great sculpting. But I want to talk about these boxes. You see this? They're open boxes, right? They're definitely different. They're not, the same as before. They're trying to save on plastic, which we already saw this happen with Origin Bumblebee last year. because he also had a open box. But I was supporting the idea of open boxes until this figure, because we're gonna take a little close up and you can tell his face is scratched. I didn't cause this. I came home, opened the box, looked at Bulkhead, and immediately saw a giant scarring under his right eye and part of his nose. And it sucks. Like, one of the first people to find this thing out in the wild, and he's got a scarred up face. But I just told myself, it's fine, it'll be okay, move on with it. And besides that, I have no problems with these boxes. They do look kind of funky. They're all neon-y and techno-y. They're pretty cool, but we're getting sidetracked. Now back to the figure. Sculpt, great. Paint is really good. Now we're gonna go on to articulation. Articulation is, I will say, it's good. Bulkhead's head, though, isn't, because he can only really look left or right and down. There's not really much up due to the way he's sculpted and the way the transformation works. But his arms, his legs, he doesn't have a waist, though. Or hold on, we're checking it out now. He does have a waist. So, yeah, he's got a waist. He's got basically everything you need. And he's even got 2 toe tilts for transformation as well. So he's definitely good. He's definitely movable, I'll say, for being such a bulky guy. Now, accessories, we get 3 with this. I'm not going to count boxes as accessories, but it is pretty nice. You can keep it as a little centerpiece with them. But yes, accessories, you get 3. You get this, what? Yeah, we get this Energon gun. The whole point of the Legacy Evolution type thing line, whatever you want to call it, is that the characters are coming with translucent weapons. As far as I know, this doesn't have a reason to exist other than to put in a gimmick. And I thought the gimmick already was it's a multiverse thing. Like, everyone's doing it now, but whatever. It's little blue machine gun. Nothing great to write home about. It's just translucent blue. And if you hate clear plastic, there's a nightmare for you. We also get his iconic wrecking ball that has a really smart transformation to it. It's weird, an accessory having a transformation. But yes, it does collapse around his hand and fit onto it, and it actually hides it really well. You can only see a couple hinges just on the bottom, but besides that, it's really great. Then we have this really clunky shield, and this comes to the part of the review where I have to say that Bulkhead is a parts former. Well, he is and he isn't, but we'll get into that during the transformation. The shield by itself it's cool. I mean, it's kind of like a shield, but it's also like a canopy, so it's supposed to be like a tarp. So I wouldn't... Okay, don't think about it too much. It's just a giant brick that Bulkhead can put on his arm. That's it. So, yeah, it works as a shield, right? But he's never really needed a shield. He could just take punches, but whatever. So overall, this robot mode is pretty good, I'd say. Definitely could use some work. The box, that's a bit wonky, but honestly, we could have a lot worse, but we don't. So, robot mode, definitely an 8 out of 10. Now, we're going to get onto some size comparisons here, and after that, we're going to go on to transformation as to why he's a parts former. So, here's his size comparisons with Core Class Ravage, Deluxe Class Wheeljack, Deluxe Class Bumblebee, Deluxe Class RC. I don't have a Ratchet due to reasons, but Shattered Glass Ratchet, Voyager class / Leader class Optimus Prime, and screw it, we'll just throw this in. Voyager class, Shattered Glass Starscream. But yeah, you can technically create a whole G1 / Transformers Prime team if you really wanted to. And also an animated team if you also wanted to. Now, transformation. Is the only word I can describe it, because this is kind of weird. It definitely is different. I thought it worked like grapple, how the arms would fold back and down, but it's more like a swivel type design. And some parts of this definitely need you to bend the plastic a little more than you would feel comfortable with. So that's a really big issue for me. I don't really like that. But fully transformed, this guy definitely is nice. He's a giant armored truck, which I think is based on an actual real life truck. I don't know. I saw pictures of it, but I couldn't be dared to find it. But looking at this thing in vehicle mode, you can definitely see, yeah, this looks like something out of 1984 brought into Earthrise. But this isn't Earthrise, it's Legacy. But it's definitely different, because Bulkhead's always been a car or a transport vehicle. Wow, this is literally just G1 Bulkhead, ain't it? But most people know him as the SUV type car from Transformers Prime. And seeing a giant armored military truck for Bulkhead makes sense, but it's different. That makes sense, right? Yeah, you got it. But yeah, I mean, weapon storage on this isn't that great. It just plugs on the side with these supposed minicom ports that people can going on about. And the gun and the ball don't really look good attached to it. I might as well just throw it in. And now, this is where I get to the part where he's a parts former. This shield. Now, it's optional to keep it on while transforming, but you can also take it off. And it sort of works both ways as a parts former or not. But just a bit weird, isn't it? Because it's quite shite as a parts forming piece, because you can just take it off, and if you misplace it, it's gone. And you may be thinking, well, that's a big piece. You won't be able to misplace that, right? If I told you I lost Megatron's whip from SS54, you'd laugh at me, but we're gonna go on. But yeah, it sucks that he's a half parts former. Yeah, you could call that half parts former, because that's basically what he is. But it's fine. The vehicle mode is nice. There's really good paint. The plastic part is... Plastic's dense. It's good quality. You're definitely getting your money's worth. Now, we're going to do some final comparisons with the original TFP team. You could also do animated, but we're going to go along with this. With Deluxe Class Bumblebee, Deluxe Class Shattered Glass Ratchet, Deluxe Class RC, and finally, Leader Class Optimus. And also Prowl. I don't have the Earthrise one for God knows what reason. But yeah, Bulkhead here is definitely a solid figure for Legacy. My first new mold for the line. And if I'm being honest, I'm definitely enjoying this as one of the first figures that I got for Legacy. The other one being Blaster here. But I have high hopes for this line. Like I said with Lift Ticket. He's definitely good. He's definitely built strong. And if I could give a real critique to this thing, it's that the open boxes. But I don't have a problem with the open boxes. They're fine. I'd give this guy overall 8.5 out of 10. Great figure. Hey, check it out. You made it to the end of the video. I'm pretty surprised you could last this long listening to me. Well, if you did enjoy it, please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and follow my Twitter at @OmegaTheReal_. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week.